Tupac Shakur was more than just a rapper. He was a poet, a revolutionary, and a voice for the voiceless. His music spoke about life in the streets, systemic oppression, and the dark side of fame. But in the months leading up to his tragic death, something eerie happened. Tupac started talking about his own demise as if he knew his days were numbered. His lyrics, interviews, and even the name of his last album seemed to foretell his murder. Was it just a coincidence? Or did Tupac Shakur predict his own assassination? Let's uncover the hidden clues that suggest a rap legend saw his fate coming long before the world did. Tupac was known for his raw, emotional lyrics, but some of his songs from the late 90s carried an eerie premonition of his own murder. One of the most haunting examples comes from his track, I Ain't Mad at Cha, which was released just days after his death. I guess they figured you'd die young, so they took you out. The music video is even stranger. It features Tupac getting shot multiple times, and then his spirit ascending to heaven. This was filmed before his real-life murder, making it one of the most chilling coincidences in rap history. But it doesn't stop there. In his song, Only God Can Judge Me, Tupac rapped, I hear the doctor standing over me, screaming I can make it / got a body full of bullet holes, laying here naked. A disturbing foreshadowing of what would happen to him on the night of September 7th, 1996. Was Tupac just painting a gritty picture of street life in his lyrics, or was he subconsciously predicting his fate? In 1996, just before his death, Tupac changed his stage name to Makaveli, a reference to Niccolò Machiavelli, the Italian philosopher who famously wrote about faking one's own death to deceive enemies. Even more bizarre is the title of the album he released shortly after his death, The Don Killuminati, The 7-Day Theory. The cover of the album depicts Tupac crucified, symbolizing martyrdom. But there are even more strange details. 1. The album was recorded in just 7 days, an unusual move for an artist of Tupac's caliber. 2. He was shot on September 7th and died 7 days later, on September 13, sparking the infamous 7-Day Theory among fans. 3. Many believe the album hints at a deeper conspiracy, possibly involving the Illuminati or government forces who wanted Tupac silenced. This theory gained even more traction when fans discovered hidden messages within the album. In the song Blasphemy, Tupac raps, brothers getting shot, coming back resurrected. Could this have been a cryptic hint about faking his death? The Unsolved Mystery. Who really killed Tupac? The night Tupac was shot is filled with unanswered questions. On September 7, 1996, Tupac was in Las Vegas, celebrating a boxing match with his close friend Suge Knight, the CEO of Death Row Records. After a violent altercation at a casino with a known Crips gang member, Tupac left in Suge Knight's car. At exactly 11:15 p.m., a white Cadillac pulled up next to their car and fired multiple shots at Tupac. He was hit 4 times, twice in the chest, once in the arm, and once in the leg. But here's where things get strange. 1. Suge Knight, who was in the same car, was barely injured. 2. There were no security cameras in an area that was heavily monitored. 3. No arrests were ever made, despite dozens of witnesses. Many believe that Tupac's murder was a professional hit, not a random act of gang violence. So, who ordered the hit? Theory 1. The notorious B.I.G. and East Coast rivalry. Some believe that Biggie Smalls, Tupac's biggest rival, had something to do with it. Just 6 months later, Biggie himself was murdered under eerily similar circumstances, leading many to believe the deaths were connected. Theory 2. Suge Knight and Death Row Records. Some say that Suge Knight, Tupac's own manager, orchestrated the murder. Why? Because Tupac was planning to leave Death Row Records and start his own independent label. Suge allegedly had too much to lose if Tupac walked away. Theory 3. The government wanted him silenced. Tupac wasn't just a rapper, he was a political activist. He spoke about police corruption, racial injustice, and called for revolution. Many believe that higher powers saw him as a threat and wanted him silenced. To this day, no one has been convicted for his murder. Even decades after his death, theories continue to circulate that Tupac faked his own murder and is still alive. Some claim they've spotted him in Cuba, living under a different identity. Others believe he left behind cryptic messages in his music, hinting that he staged his death. The 7-day theory suggests that he planned everything, inspired by Machiavelli's teachings. The biggest question remains: if Tupac really faked his death, why hasn't he come back? Was he trying to escape the dangers of fame? Or did he truly predict his own murder and knew there was no way out? One thing is undeniable: Tupac spoke about his death constantly. Whether it was divine intuition, paranoia, or a deeper conspiracy, he seemed to know his time was short. His lyrics, his final interviews, and the strange coincidences surrounding his murder still leave us with more questions than answers. So, what do you think? Did Tupac really predict his own murder? Or is there a bigger truth that the world is yet to uncover? Let us know in the comments.